Thank you. Mic's on. Okay. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. Thank you, David. Thank you, Chris. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us this morning on this Valentine's Day after. It's really great to see y'all, and nice to know that there's folks that are watching online as well. I'm Bonnie. You're here at the Ventura Center for Spiritual Living, where we aspire to be love, share love, and serve love. We're going to start with a few announcements. Let's see what we got here. Okay, we have a choir that's singing today, and they rehearse on most Sundays from 11:30 to 12:30. Everybody is welcome. We also have a science and spirituality group, and they meet on the third Wednesday of each month from 6:30 to 8 p.m. Their next meeting is February 18th, and it's now hybrid, so you can come in person or you can watch online. And the book that they're reading right now is Power versus Force by David Hawkins, which is a classic, okay? We have a blood drive. We partner with the American Red Cross, and the blood drive is happening on March 11th. You will want to schedule for that. If you'd like to donate blood, you schedule online. Okay, and then, oh goodness, we have an annual fundraiser that's super fun, Gourmets for God. How many of you have participated in a Gourmets for God party, either host, lots of people, that's wonderful. So we're gonna start signing up people for parties. People that want to host a party starts on March 1st or March 2nd. It says March 1st here, it says March 2nd there. You decide, okay? All righty. It's great to see all of you, and then I'm gonna call Bill Hadris forth, and he will lead us in a youth message.
Would the youth like to join me?
Here comes Kaya. Here comes Dalton. Yay. Here comes Asher. Say what? Oh, the clicker's over there. Yeah. Hey, guys. Good to know. Mm-hmm.
Good morning.
Good morning.
As Reverend Bonnie said, I'm Bill Hadris. And today, I'm going to start off with a quick quote. There is no great and no small to the soul that maketh all.
Woohoo.
Woo! It's like I'm a poet. Nice. Actually, I use that from Ralph Waldo Emerson. But anyway, based on that, though, can you guys tell me some small things you do every day?
Help with my baby brother.
You help with your brother? Nice.
Pick up the avocado fruit.
Oh, all right.
Picking up avocados. Nice. Bet that tastes good. It does. You have some? No? Anything else? Other small things you do? Anybody brush their teeth today? Oh, that's a good one, huh? That's pretty important. A few of us? Good to hear.
I lost 2 teeth on the bottom, and I brushed it.
Nice. Both of them, huh? Good job. I love it. You could do other things too. Maybe turn off the lights when you're not using them. Maybe walk or ride your bike to get somewhere. Or give someone a compliment. Maybe do something kind to brighten someone's day. Or even just say thank you. You know, at every moment, we can ask ourselves, what am I to think, feel, or do for myself or others? The spirit or law of mind knows nothing of size or the degree of our concern. It knows action and reaction, cause and effect. When we as a human body can stop thinking in terms of big, small, hard, easy, and remember that that same creative power exists in us. It's the same creative power that exists in an ant or an elephant. We can work with spirit to get through the events and conditions in our lives. So our thoughts are creative because we are spirit, the creative intelligence of the universe. When we embrace that truth, it applies to all aspects of our life. Every situation, even ones that feel difficult or challenging or of tiny consequence. And that truth can magnify the joy and love that is inherent in our birthright. So I invite you all to repeat after me. My small kindness matters.
My small kindness matters.
And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Bill. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. Thank you. You are the face of God. And so it is. And now we have a word of prayer from Kathy, our practitioner today.
As the ministers and practitioners are standing, I invite you to just take a deep breath where you're sitting and breathe that out, just feeling that presence that is surrounding us always. I know there is one life. That life is God's life. That life is whole, perfect, and complete. That life is love, kindness, peace, beauty. And I know that life is one. As I am one with that life, I know that each and every one of us here, each and every one of us on this planet are one with that one source. And I just know that today's service is blessed. I know that the words and the inspiration from Reverend Bonnie inspire and invoke us and encourage us this week and all weeks. I know that everything is just so beautiful, and there is nothing but that beauty. And I am just so grateful for that. I'm so grateful to know these truths. I am so grateful for the transformation that happens here today and all days. And with a word of gratitude, I release this word into the law, knowing it is already done. And together we say,
and so it is. And so it is. And so it is, and so we allow it to be. Thank you, Kathy. And so let us breathe in together, trusting and knowing that this divine presence is here right with us right now. And as we rest in this presence, we know that it goes by many names. It is Spirit, it is God. But today we refer to it as I am, the isness of being, the amness of being. It is that which is in the crocodile picture that we saw, and in the birds, and that which lifts the birds, the energy, the spirit, the love that places every grain of sand on the beach. that spins the planets, that is in the rain and the sun and the stars, and is present in each of us, that divine, powerful energy that is grace itself, given to us freely, given to us, given through us, given as us. And so today we sing together, I am remembering and knowing this truth about existence, that we are that. We are that I am. And so we sing together and we know it for ourselves, but we also know it for all beings everywhere. Together as we sing, we participate in allowing our consciousness to create a world that works for all, a cosmos that works for all. And as we do so, let us remember the vast I am within us and around us, everywhere, always. Together we sing, I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering who I am. I am love. I am remembering who I am. I am peace. I am remembering. I am wholeness. I am remembering. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. Resting in that divine presence as that divine presence. Let us breathe in deeply. And then exhale, gently opening our eyes in love and in service to what is, as it is, and so it is. Namaste. Hello. Here we are. Hoping my mic goes off. Yay. Okay, good job. Stop my second. Okay. All right. Here we go. Oh, yeah, it's a kitty. Happy Valentine's Day, y'all. Yeah, the cat's cute. Thank you. All right. So the talk today is small matters to God. And I like this because it's kind of a double entendre, right? Small matters to God. Your problem is a small matter to God, right? There's that famous saying about don't tell God how big your problems are, tell your problems how big your God is. So there's that. But also, this talk is more about how our small acts of kindness matter to God. In fact, I believe that God, the divine force, the quantum field, the cosmic energy, the universal being, whatever it is we want to call it, I believe that it is working all the time through the small choices and the small actions and the small thoughts that we have. So this talk today is about personal and global empowerment, because right now it's easy to feel hopeless. It's easy to feel helpless. We have personal problems, challenges in our lives. The world seems a little offbeat right now, a little off, a little crazy at the moment, and some people are slipping into despair. Some people are slipping into apathy. It's sometimes easy to wonder if we're doing enough. But the good news about all of that is that it's easy to take small steps. And what we need to do is work on the belief that our small steps matter. Our small steps are important. As we know from the Zen teaching, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. A journey of 2,300 miles begins with a single step. How many of you have been following the monks, right? For those of you who don't know, a group of monks from Texas walked to the Capitol and brought their message of peace to many, many, many people. Yes, there were some protests, but most people were just gathered around them with their intention, their non-political message of just calling forth the peace that is embedded in everyone. And even better is that they had a little dog, too. A loca. So today we're going to step into the paradox of knowing, absolutely knowing that immense healing can come through something very small. Immense healing can come through our choices, through your choices, through our actions, through our thoughts, through our words, through our deeds. All of it. Something small when we trust, when we allow, when we search, when we amplify, when we allow ourselves to be that vessel for spirit that longs to pour through us, that is a hidden treasure that longs to be known through each of us. So if you would, take a moment and think about a place in your life where you might want to restore some sanity, a place where you might be struggling, a place where you may feel apathetic or despairing or hopeless or helpless, and see if you can apply the words today, the words that we're sharing today in this beautiful community. See if you can apply that in your life so you can take at least one small step, and then another and another and another to allow Spirit to work through you, to work through your smallness. Okay? Now I know, first of all, that the small can be difficult for us because many of us want instant gratification, instant results. How many of you here love instant gratification? I should raise two hands. I want a God that's like I Dream of Jeannie, right? You want something and then bang, it happens, right? Or Bewitched. We want instant results and we doubt that small is enough. We want to know that what we're doing is working. We want evidence. We want the Holy Spirit to come down and drop a Post-it on our head and say, you're doing okay, right? What was that? Seriously, what was that? Was that the Holy Spirit? Holy guacamole, Spirit. It was awesome. Was she laughing at us? I don't know. Okay. And we want this instant result thing happening because we're humans. We have a brain. We have an amygdala that wants to know that everything is working out okay. We crave certainty because we feel like certainty is keeping us safe. Certainty feels like protection. Now, many of you know that one of my main mentors right now is a gentleman called Nipun Mehta, who is, how do I describe Nipun? He has an organization called Service Space, which is a large millions and millions of people organization that does service all around the world through unusual means, usually acts of smallness and acts of kindness. And he's been writing a lot lately, and one of the things that he talks about is our human capacity to collect, or to connect rather, to what is knowable, and even in terms of the unknown, he distinguishes between the unknown and the unknowable. So the unknown is that which we have not measured yet. And he says that we name the problem, we price the solution, we measure the outcome, and that's not wrong. We love doing that, right? We love to measure to see if things are being effective. But it's merely incomplete in the way that a map of a forest is incomplete. The map will show you every trail, but it will never show you what the forest is for, the value of the forest, right? The smell of the trees, the feel of the soft ground, the little critters that are living in the forest. I was thinking about this today in terms of music. I was listening to music this morning before I came. It was on our YouTube thing, and I was listening to something that I didn't recognize at first, and then I realized I had been in a performance of that very piece a long time ago, and it just brought back this flood of memories, right? So we can measure music. Music is very measurable, right, Chris? There's notes and there's black and white on the page, and we follow these rules in music. But can you put the results of music on a spreadsheet? Can you put what music evokes in us on a spreadsheet? Can you put the love of a child on a spreadsheet? Can you put the journey that a butterfly takes when it's migrating? Can you put that on a spreadsheet? Can you put, back to the forest, can you put the mycelium network that abides under the soil, that feeds all the trees, and the trees share with one another? Can you put that on a spreadsheet? Can you put all of the sharing that takes place in this community on a spreadsheet? Well, you can. Certainly you can track results and track ministries and whatnot, but can you really put the emotional, heartfelt impact of sharing that takes place in this community on a spreadsheet? No. I think many of the best things in life are immeasurable. Nipun also talks about the unknown and the unknowable, how he talks about the unknown is only what we have not measured yet. The unknown is only what we have not measured yet. The unknowable is something else entirely. It is not a gap in our knowledge. It is a country where knowledge itself kneels. Now, I don't know why I like that so much. I like it because it's poetic, but it speaks to something infinite and immeasurable, something unknowable, something that we can never completely explain it, because if we can completely explain it, then it's not the divine, it's not the quantum field, it's something greater. This thing is something greater. It is a country where knowledge itself kneels. And this isn't new. This is from a book from the 14th century, I believe, The Cloud of Unknowing. Thank you. David the ATM just spit out the answer. 14th century. The universes which are amenable to the intellect can never satisfy the instincts of the heart. Now, if that doesn't make sense, here's what I think it means. And if what I say doesn't make sense, you ask David after service, okay? He'll tell you what it really means. He's very, very well versed in all of this. So I think what Nipun and the anonymous author of The Cloud of Unknowing is saying is that there is this energy of the heart that is unknowable, that cannot be measured. And in order to be really effective agents of change in our own lives and in the life of the planet, that we have to combine the two. We have to have this coherence, that we understand that there is something that we can never measure, and we have to get coherent with that. We have to abide in that, as well as use our heads and use our bodies. But the message of the heart, the instincts of the heart, is where so much of this unknowable, infinite, yet perfect power abides. So we draw ourselves into the heart, and we do so with grace and with kindness and understanding. What the heart knows, understanding that the heart knows, it cannot be measured in a spreadsheet. Again, like the love we may have for our children or for our pet or for our center or for one another. Coherence between heart, head, hands, like a holy trinity of heart, head, and hands. We can feel this. If you take a moment now just to sink into your heart and feel how beautiful it is to sit here in this sacred sanctuary where so many prayers have been offered, where our practitioners offer so much love for this community, where we offer love for one another. And we breathe into it, and we trust it, and we know it. And yet, perhaps at times during the day, We'll continue that mantra of picking up the script of I need to do more. I need to fix things. I need to fix my life. I need to fix the world. One of the other things that Nipun has been writing a lot about lately that I really like is that he has suggested that part of our challenge as humans is that we need to be able to bear the friction between emergency and emergence. Emergency is when it feels like everything is going wrong and we need to do something, we need to jump in there, but emergence is something else. Emergence is when the unknowable comes forth, where we create this sacred field, where we create a sacred field where we provide room for that which is not known to spring forward. I think the monks, the walking monks with their little dog, I think they were in the field of emergence. I doubt they had a spreadsheet. I'm sure they had a map, but there was this idea that we're going to do this walk and we're going to let the greater yet to be emerge. And look what happened. Any of you see the pictures that I just showed a picture of the Capitol, but the picture in the Capitol of people like, tons and tons and tons of people, their whole route, because they were playing in the field of emergence. And can we do that too? Can we do that too? And create this field that provides a synchronistic, beautiful spot for something great, something infinite to emerge. Here in this center, I'm saying this almost every Sunday, but it's so counterintuitive to the way that we have learned to be, is that we transform through inner transformation. We work on ourselves, and part of that work on ourselves is, again, to find that coherence between head, heart, and hands, to find this resonance where our heart is guiding us versus old ideas that we've learned in our heads, where our heart and our head and our hands are joining together to create something wonderful. We find that convergence, and then that trickles into our relationships so that we form solid relationships of trust and well-being. And then ultimately in this creative field formed by these relationships, even here in this center or in your families or in your workplaces, this creative field, something great can emerge through that. It takes a lot of trust. It takes a lot of unknowing what we've already learned, but it is a beautiful and a powerful place to be. Emergence is the emergence of a place where the alleged problem once existed, and then the solution emerges. For every problem, there is a solution. In fact, every problem exists for the purpose of a solution. A really good example of this is math. If you think about math, there are a lot of math problems when I was growing up that I didn't know the solution for, but they were there. They were there. If I were to ask you in your head right now to multiply 3,270 times 7,499, would you know the solution? Maybe not. Maybe some of you would. Jennifer? No? Okay. If you have a calculator, you would know it, but the solution is there. And for every situation that we're facing, there is a solution there. Again, the problem exists for the purpose of allowing the solution to emerge, to grow us into new and productive and wonderful ways. Emergence of the place in the collective that creates a world that works for all, but also that allows the world that already works to emerge through us. How do we tolerate that state of emergency without running away, without moving into allowing ourselves to stay in that place of friction where we're waiting, that horrible, awful, tell people how you really feel, Bonnie, that awful place, that liminal place, the liminal place, like a threshold place where the solution hasn't arrived yet? Oh, anybody? Yeah, okay. Oh, let's have a collective. Oh, good job. Okay, that place, how do we allow ourselves to stay there without running away or putting our heads in the sand or through aggressive action? That's another solution that we often impose upon things, is we take aggressive action against that which we feel is against us, which is really for us, to allow a mystical solution to move. Well, I've got two strategies to cultivate the peace, the stillness, to abide in that place where we allow the holiness of spirit to emerge within us, where we allow a greater peace, the peace that passes human understanding, to emerge within us and to emerge through us. The two strategies are this: doing what is ours to do, which is small acts of kindness right where we are. We don't have to wait till tomorrow. We can start right this minute, even if it's kindness to ourselves, right? Breathing in and allowing ourselves to be human, but also knowing at the same time we're divine. And the other strategy is community. Community, connection builds sustainable courage. It builds sustainable change. It builds the energy for sustainable change for good. And these two things help us to abide in the state of emergency until emergence emerges. So in our small acts of goodness, one of the things I love about small acts of goodness is that it helps us move forward. It helps us understand that there is something greater at play, that small matters to God, that something greater works through small acts, that one step that begins the journey of 1,000 steps. But the other thing I love about small acts of goodness is that it often allows love to transcend logic, to transcend the faulty logic of the ego that says, I am not enough, or this is not enough, or I'm not doing enough. And I have a story about that, something that I heard in class. I have permission to tell this story, by the way, and the person that it's about said I also had permission to call her out, and it is Karina, who is sitting right over there. Hey, Karina. Yeah. So Karina had a great story in class about love overcoming logic. Many years ago, Karina was the director of social services and parent training at Head Start. And she said she was young and idealistic. I suspect she's still young and idealistic, but that's just, okay. And she did a workshop for parents where she invited people, the parents of the children in Head Start would come for seminars after the classes were out, and she invited realtors and lenders and people in the housing industry to come to explain the nuances of getting a home, owning their own home. Her more experienced colleagues that were older and more sophisticated told her, I love saying that, everybody say sophisticated, okay? All right. It brings me joy, thank you for playing, okay? Her more sophisticated clients advised against it, and they said, they're not going to care about that, it's a waste of time, they're just trying to put food on the table. And they tried to talk her out of it. And she felt defeated, she felt like she shouldn't be doing it, but she did it anyway because love and this creative impulse overcame the logic of her colleagues that were telling her it was a bad idea. She did that maybe 20 years ago. And at the very end of the seminar, she said something like, just put a little money aside every time you can. Like if you're thinking about going to McDonald's with your kids, maybe take that money and get a more nutritious and less expensive meal and put that money in a fund for your eventual home. Again, her colleagues said, well, what are you talking about? Those kids are not going to want to be away from McDonald's. What are you talking about? That's not going to make a difference. Well, 20 years later, 20 years later, a woman who was in the seminar, we'll name her Valerie, she was a mother with 6 boys. And she called Karina at her home and she said, guess what? Tomorrow, I'm getting the keys to our new home. Because of what you told me 20 years ago. Because of what you said 20 years ago. She didn't say this, but because you allowed love to prevail over the logic, the common logic that was in the room. Because you suggested that we put a little money aside and talk about small acts, that money grew and grew and grew and grew until she had enough to buy a house for herself and her 6 children. And her story, you see how this story doesn't stop? This woman is living her life in her new house, but it's rippling out to us. Perhaps we're thinking about opportunities where we can put something aside or where we can understand. The most important part is that we can understand that the small acts done in the spirit of loving kindness and the small acts done in the spirit of goodness, that those acts matter. That they matter to the world, but they also matter to us. Nipun is very clear about saying that, yes, outward ripples are great, but the inner ripples are even better. Because, again, those inner ripples of loving kindness provide us with that coherence, that connection between heart and mind and action. It is a perfect formula for doing that. It is a perfect formula for allowing love to prevail over logic. Has anybody here ever done an act of kindness where they were kind of like, oh, I don't know if I should do that? It feels a little intrusive, right? Yeah. I've done it all the time. A lot. A lot, because I'm shy and I don't like to approach strangers and whatnot. And every time I prevail, every time I decide that my logic is wrong and my love, my impulse is correct, that I should approach that stranger and say something kind or compliment their child or tell them I think they're a great mom because they're sitting in a car wash singing the Eensy Weensy Spider to their little girl. It always leads to something beautiful. It always leads to connection. And really, I think that's what the salvation of the world is. I think we need connection with our inner self and also with our fellow travelers here on the planet Earth. One thing that we say in this center, one of many things that we say in this center is that ripples are real, and I've got a ripple story for you about this tiny act of kindness that led to something, at least one thing, many, many things that were great. So this is a picture of Karma Kitchen, which is a service-based organization. It's a pay-it-forward restaurant where you go in and you eat your food and you get your bill and it's zero, but they invite you to pay for the next person. And when they first tried it, it was years ago, I don't know, 20-something years ago, and they said, well, I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to do it anyway because our love is prevailing over our logic. Market logic says this will never work. Love logic says, let's give it a try. Let's give it a try. And so they did, and it was wonderful. Very, very few people said, I'm not paying for this, yay, a free meal. Most people paid abundantly for the person following them, not knowing who it would be, knowing that they would give abundantly so that person would be fed, right? They said one time that a child came in with this piggy bank and said, I want to use this to pay it forward for somebody. So you see, there's no amount that's too big or too small. It's a beautiful thing. And now it's in, I think, 28 countries, 28 cities, I'm not sure how many, but it's all over the world. It's all over the world. Now jump back with me. Many, many years ago, in the late 50s and early 60s, there was a rule, a law, whatever it is, I don't know, it's stupid, whatever it is, that stinking stupid rule that that black people could not be flight attendants. Now this is a picture of a black woman who was the first flight attendant, and she's not the person I'm talking about, I don't think, but she was the first flight attendant. And the reason how this relates to Karma Kitchen is that she went to TWA to apply for a job once TWA announced that they were going to start hiring black African-American folks to be flight attendants. And she went there and she strode up to the HR department or whatever it was, and she said, you know, I want to apply for a job. And the person was like, oh, sorry, dear, we don't have any openings. Somebody heard that conversation, a man with no name, I don't know what his job was, but he came up to her and he said, that's not true. You need to go back there and apply. And she did. And she got the job. And she was a flight attendant at TWA. She lived all over the world. She traveled all over the world and eventually ended up settling in Germany, where she had her son and her husband. And I met this man on a group call, her son, and he ended up, because he was living in Europe and he had European roots, he ended up working extensively with Thich Nhat Hanh and Jane Goodall. And now, the last I heard is that he is starting the first Karma Kitchen, the first one ever in Africa. So you see how that works? That guy who walked up to his mother, he probably thought that was a small act of kindness or courage or whatever that may or may not make a difference. But it's rippling into Morocco right now. It's rippling into Morocco, where their Karma Kitchen that they're setting up there, the first one in Africa again, it will touch many, many lives, and who knows where those ripples can go. It's a powerful way to be in the world, in the world. Tiny moments build a beautiful web of interconnection. And it's our joy and our job as spiritual seekers to see it and believe it, to search for it, to recognize it, to amplify it, and to spread it around. Pay attention. Be astonished. Tell about it, in the words of Mary Oliver. Okay, one more thing real quick. That second strategy for moving from emergence to emergency. Oh, no, whoa. For emergence coming from out of emergency. Sorry about that. Supportive community helps us bear the friction of being in a state of emergency when we can lift each other up. So we have an opportunity here in this center to build something magnificent. Another story for you. Our church has been different since COVID. Have you noticed? It's a little different. And it's hard to know exactly what to do next. And I trust that something beautiful is emerging, but sometimes it can feel like a state of emergency. Like for me, it's like, what am I supposed to do? What should I be doing differently? And I get a little panicky about it, whatnot. Well, one of the things that came up is that our home office, this is a picture of our church, by the way, our home office came up with this plan that they were going to do a pilot program for church revitalization. I had to audition for it. Yeah. No, I had to go on a couple of group calls and do several interviews, and they ended up picking us. They ended up picking us for one of the CSL Revitalization pilot programs. Thank you. I asked the consultant that we're working with a couple of nights ago, I asked her, why did you pick us? Is it because we're desperate? And she's like, no. And I knew this wasn't true. I just was making a joke. She said, because you have such a good thing going there. You have resources, you've got great people, you say that you love your people, and I do. You've got practitioners, you've got a board that's congenial, you've got so much good stuff going on there, and we want this to work. We want to work with people where we feel like it's going to be successful. So we work with our consultant once a week. Cheryl is her name. She's a lovely person. I just love her so much. And here's the part that involves you. The whole thing involves you, actually, but here's the part where you can actually take action, where you can marry heart, head, and hands. We're having the annual meeting next week, and the day after the annual meeting, we're sending out a survey, and I would love it if you would open the survey and answer the questions, tap into your heart, and then use your head and your hands to answer the survey. That'll give us so much information so that we can understand what it is that people are seeking and that we can do our best to meet those needs as a spiritual center, because it depends on all of us. And again, this energy of staying in community, lifting each other up is a powerful thing that helps us transcend the challenges, and whether they're personal or global, supporting one another in a beautiful center is part of the plan, part of the grace of this moment. Part of the grace of this moment. Did you hear what I just said? Part of the grace of this moment. So many people are running around saying, this is a terrible time. This is a terrible time. I'm having a terrible time. My life is crazy right now. What if it's really grace in disguise? What if it's really something seeking to lift us up into greater yet to be? So today, I'm inviting everybody to search and amplify, to find the unknowable in your heart. And ask yourself, do you have a small story where you did an act of kindness, or where someone did an act of kindness to you, and what was the effect? And maybe in the spirit of community, you can share it with somebody in the social hub after the service. And you may think that you don't have any stories, but I'll bet if you look, you'll find one. Because so many times when I'm teaching classes, somebody will say, well, I don't have anything really important to share, but here's a story. And then we're like, oh, what are you talking about? That was amazing. That was a beautiful story. So pay attention, be astonished, tell about it. And if you don't have anything to say, then create a new story. Do an act of kindness today, and the room will metaphorically kneel in humility and grace and gratitude as we bow to the infinite. Every small act of kindness, every small act of community plants seeds, and we will never know the fruits of those seeds. We may know some fruits, but many seeds, like that story about the flight attendant in Marrakesh, Africa, and the Karma Kitchen, we may never know the seeds, but the whole world benefits from the seeds that we plant today. You can count the seeds in an apple, but you can't count the apples in a seed. You get that? Right? I like that. I like the collective, oh. I like that. In the spirit of that, which resonated in your hearts, I can feel it. Let's trust that small acts of goodness matter to God. And then be the seed. Be the seed that is planted in the fertile ground of grace and good intentions. And with that being so, let us read this affirmation together. My small acts of kindness transform my life. My small acts of kindness transform the world. And so it is. Thank you. Okay, let us pray. Okay, so turning within, let's just take a moment to absorb the energy of the message, the shared community, the beauty, the grace, the love, what is happening now, what is yet to be, just knowing that it's all one, that we are here in this sacred moment of time to trust and to know something infinite, something magical, something wonderful, something filled with grace and gratitude. We feel that energy in our hearts. And then we sink into knowing that truly, despite all the layers we may put upon this energy of grace and gratitude and transformation, that we are that right now, that this energy of transformation is within each and every one of us, seeking an outlet. The imprisoned splendor is longing to express through us. And so today we commit to allowing it out. We don't have to do anything big. We get to do something small. We get to do something small and to recognize that the smallness is grace itself, that there is no large and small in the universe, in the absolute reality. And we express and we trust and we feel the impact that small acts of goodness have upon our hearts, and we see the impact that small acts of goodness have upon the world around us. And so I know that this transformation is easy for us. It is natural. It is perfect. It is divine. It is complete. And I trust that all is well, and we emerge into that spirit of well-being so that we may ripple it inwardly and outwardly. So I'm grateful for this time together, grateful for this beautiful, beautiful community. I'm grateful for this teaching. I bless all paths to spirit. Synagogues, temples, church, ashrams, fundamentalists, atheists, all paths to spirit, all paths to science, all paths to everything. And with a heart that is so filled with gratitude for this divine transformation taking place in each of us and all of us collectively, I say thank you, Spirit, thank you, love, and I release these words into the divine mystery. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you. Come on.
Thank you, Bonnie.
My pleasure.
And thank you for plugging the annual meeting.
Okay.
I'm going to piggyback on that too, because if you haven't been to an annual meeting, you really need to attend. And as we do this revitalization, I love the part here. You know, in business, it's usually you're looking at what is not working, but we get to look at what is working. And just looking out and seeing all of you, I know what is working, and that is our community. So please do take that opportunity to share with us your thoughts on the Center for Revitalization. And then my favorite is the annual meeting booklet, because if you wonder what we're doing, that will tell you. And it is such a great way to see the small acts of kindness unfolding and rippling out. And don't miss out on that opportunity. So I'm just giving a plug.
Okay.
So, and this morning of deep gratitude, we'll do our offering prayer together. We trust in spirit.
Love is the giver and receiver of all that we are.
We offer these gifts.
They are an outer expression of our inner abundance and compassion. Our gifts bless many and return to us multiplied in miraculous ways, so that we may give again.
And so it is.
Thank you.
There we go. All right, all is well, maybe. We'll see. I'm Reverend Jennifer, one of the ministers here, and we have a few more announcements, and we'll get everybody going on their way. So we've got everything I say here is on our website, www.venturacsl.org. Our Reverend Bonnie already discussed. Our annual meeting is next week after service, so everybody come, get your snacks, and then come back for the annual meeting. And then we're going to have Reverend Susan come up and tell us about her Are You a Light Leader workshop, the class that starts tomorrow.
Yikes. Tomorrow, it starts tomorrow, the 16th. This is the 4th Light Leader workshop I've created asking, are you a light leader? And this one is about awakening your inner authority. And it's a lot of what Bonnie talked about today. I just love how the universe plants synchronicities to lead us to where we need to go next. So next week we'll explore what is your inner authority. Where does it reside? And I got a hint. Y'all have one and it's in your heart. But then we'll also do some great fun and deep experientials to help you begin to really lead your light from that light and love that's within you by following your authority, not somebody else's. So I hope you join me. I'll be at the concierge desk if you have questions.
And like we said, that starts tomorrow. It's a Monday through Friday event, and it will be 9:30 to 11 a.m. on Zoom. So no excuse not to take it. All right, the next one we've got, next workshop we have is Reimagine Your Home, creating spaces that bring greater joy, creativity, and freedom. This is also this one is in person here, and that's next Saturday, February 21st, and it goes from 9 a.m. to noon. That's facilitated by Susan Seal. She's a feng shui specialist, and so the workshop will be touching on using feng shui to get energy to be moving through and into your home and creating spaces that open all of your channels. Something like that. Let's see. There's words for it. I just don't remember. So let's see. We've got the next class coming up, Ancient Wisdom and the Science of Mind. It's a new accredited course that CSL is offering, and it's new for us offering it here. That's going to be facilitated by Kim Bryson. That's going to be each Tuesday in March. So it starts March 2nd, maybe? Yeah, is that true? March 2nd, and that'll go, and they'll meet from 6 to 8:30. So that's priceless pricing. If you have any questions, talk to me, or when Kim's here, ask Kim about it, and we can get all the answers to you. And let's see. Oh, we have a hospitality through those doors, back through here. So if you ever want to bring anything for hospitality, please do. The hospitality team, we call them the Prasad team, will get everything put out and put out on the tables. But there's coffee and cookies, lots of cookies today, all in the pretty colors. It's a sugar minefield in there, I'm telling you folks. Okay, enough about me. And then we also have a bookstore in there too. If anything that's come up in service or in your life or just in general has come up for you and you would like to pray with a practitioner, the practitioners have white stoles on. They love to pray with you. You can anchor into these principles every Sunday. There's practitioners that will be down here after service, so they will pray with you. We call it 1-minute miracles. Do it. It's amazing. You'll never regret having a 1-minute miracle with a practitioner. And with that, we're going to all rise and we're going to say our final affirmation. You can come up. All right, ready? I am held in Spirit's holiness, divinely guided by wisdom, courage, and love. I am always connected. I am love. I share love. I serve love. Thank you for my life. And so it is.
I want to sing, sing, sing. I want to dance, dance, dance. I want to sing, I want to dance. Hallelujah. When those gates are open wide, I'll be standing by your side. I want to sing, I want to dance. Hallelujah.